Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am Sharon Porter, Head of Public Relations with Enlivian, and I have the great pleasure of being joined with Lawana Denisha. Right? I said it right, right?
Absolutely. Good
with,
job.
with with NC Works Charlotte. Now, before we get started, because we're here to talk about how NC Works is getting the job done, and in this employment space, right, we need to talk about because there seems to be a disconnect, right? I see all these signs where people are saying we're now hiring, now hiring, now hiring. Um, and then you go into places and there's never enough staff of people working, right? And then but you're like, the people didn't go anywhere. What happened? What's going on? What are we seeing? What are most of us being confused by? What am I being confused by? How about that?
Well, Sharon, first off, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate this opportunity just to share some information about what we do and who we are. Um, what we're seeing is that the landscape has changed. So we were used to seeing most folks in brick and mortar. You go into a place, you're tripping over people. Can I help you? Can I help you? And you're going, no, I just let me shop. Just let me do this. And now,
Yeah.
it takes you 10 minutes to find someone who can help. Well, the COVID pandemic really changed how industries are operating. And even though we're seeing the numbers drop, there are certain things that aren't going to change. So even the platform that we are on now, this would have been done in a physical studio, and
Okay.
we'll come down and seen you. Now the life of virtual, it's not going to change. You are still going to see things, even though the world is opening back up and people are more comfortable. That has also changed how people find work, and it changed where they were working. So when the pandemic first hit, there were so many people who either lost their jobs or their hours were cut, and they had to find other ways. So
Yeah.
things like DoorDash, Lyft,
Mm.
those became super popular because people were staying at home. And when things opened back up, those jobs didn't necessarily change. So
Yeah.
that gig industry, that gig environment, that
Yeah.
it's not the traditional, 8 to 5 everywhere where you can set your own hours. There were lots of folks that really enjoyed that kind of life and that living, that flexibility with having kids in school. That
Yeah.
changed, being able to get to them or having them at home, virtual learning. Well, you can't go to the office and leave your 10-year-old at home. So
Yeah.
that really, really changed how we live our lives and including how we work. So
Well, that really
yeah,
impacted this pandemic and working really impacted women,
yes, very
right?
much so. Very much so.
Because you pointed out. So, and what are you seeing with women in the workplace, or how have they been adjusted and managed?
There are the need for remote jobs, or at least that flexibility in your office work or in your manufacturing. That manufacturing has probably been the place where it's been the hardest to gain some of that
Mm.
flexibility. So what we're seeing are employers creating more of a hybrid schedule, not only for the work getting done, but also for um, the health and wellness of their employees. So there are more schedules where if they're not fully remote, there may be one remote day or two remote days.
Yeah.
Um, so that definitely changed how women in particular were working, with them
Yeah.
being the primary caregivers of the children.
Yeah.
We are seeing that flexibility.
That's flexibility. I also know that there were a lot of people, and just doing some of my research, there were a lot of people who left the workforce, right? So you had a lot of people who said, you know what, I don't need to wait 5 extra years to retire.
Right.
I'm good. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like they're just like or they just change career shifts altogether. Maybe the high
That's
stress
it.
level job that I had, I don't want that anymore. Like I am now redefining life as
Yes.
I want to. I'm
Yeah.
reevaluating my priorities as I want to. And yeah, I just don't want whatever that was I used to do.
Right.
Maybe I found my passion, right? Maybe this time has said to me, what is it that I really want to do, right? Because life has just
Right.
become just far more appreciative. So tell
Yes.
me, how as and so for those who are watching, please feel free to ask us questions in the chat. We can. You have Luana Denisha here with NC Works. She can answer any questions that you have. So Luana, what is NC Works doing?
So what I love and what I want to share with you first off is that we are excited. We have a new
Okay.
team. There are lots of folks that we are changing how we are doing things. Um, some may not know during the pandemic, we actually physically shifted locations.
Okay.
So we are no longer on Executive Drive. We are now at 8601 McAlpine Park Drive. So that alone was very different. We are our offices are now open, and we do have a second office on Charlotte South, the Forest Point office, and we'll share the actual addresses with you. Um, so for one, the physical offices are open again because during that pandemic we did close and we were only providing virtual services. So
Okay.
now we have also made that adjustment. So we are in a hybrid situation. So um, our appointments and workshops, those are many of them are still virtual.
Well, let
So
me ask, let me just take you back to what is it that NC Works does for employees and employers?
how that thank you. We did. I was already ahead of myself. I got all excited. So most folks typically they know us as the unemployment office. What
Okay.
we are the re-employment office.
Okay.
Unemployment
Okay.
is simply a division, and we don't have claims representatives in the offices anymore. So if
Okay.
you file for unemployment, we can help you as far as letting you use our resource center. We have
Okay.
computers, anything job related or employment related, you can do in our facilities.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can fax, you can print off resumes, you can get resume assistance.
Okay.
All of our services are designed to help people go to work and to find not only jobs but careers.
Okay.
So
So
we're
who's
in the
the
career making
who
business.
I like it. So are you do you only help people who have been laid off or fired, or does it is it or just what are the
Absolutely,
criteria?
absolutely not.
Okay.
The criteria is that you want to work. That's really
Okay.
the criteria because we help everyone. We have programs that even help out of school youth, and for us, out of school youth are individuals that are between 16 to 24. So we have a
Mm-hmm.
program. They do have to be out of school that focuses on them. We have programs that help people who are out of work, whether it's no fault of your own, whether you were fired, whether you left. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we can help individuals who have never worked. We can help individuals who have been out of the workplace. Some of those displaced homemakers that they haven't been in the workforce for a while because they've been raising families or taking care of parents. Um,
Okay.
that's not a problem. You can have a job and still we can help you. So it may be that you are trying to change careers. It may be that you are trying to go from a job to a career.
Yeah.
We can help everyone. That's what's
Okay.
awesome. We even help employers. We have a branch that works with employers so that we match them with employers and job seekers together.
That's wonderful. Now, a lot of our residents have challenges with transportation. Do you have? How do you all help people who have limited transportation access employment?
That's where our virtual services really come into play, and that's one of the
Okay.
reasons that it's not going away. So even
Okay.
though we've opened the doors, we're not saying, oh, that's it, you've got to come in to be able to do this thing.
Okay.
So the NC Works uh, website, our main job database, which is actually
Mm-hmm.
the largest in the state,
Mm-hmm.
because it is connected throughout the state. So even if you were
Okay.
to move out of Mecklenburg County, you still can access NC Works in every single county in the state.
Okay.
So we have specific programs. So all of our services are free to everyone, including
Okay.
which is awesome.
Absolutely. So, what are some of the jobs that you're seeing as the greatest in demand in Mecklenburg County?
So there are 7 industries that are considered in-demand industries.
Okay.
As far as particular jobs, we are seeing CDL drivers very much in need.
Yeah.
So our industries cover everything from transportation, which is huge right now. That's going to help with the supply chain issues. We're seeing healthcare. So
Mm.
even finance, construction, welders. There are like 7 different industries that
Right.
are considered in demand for us.
Interesting. Do you have a sense? I would not think finance. That's. I mean, I certainly understand
Mhm.
CDL drivers with the supply chain issues people are having. Grocery stores are looking bare. Just your basic stuff, just not being in there or just being very low. How how
With
does finance fit into this?
with finance, because people have shifted, there's still the need for individuals to be able to talk to someone about their financial situation, to
Okay.
be able to handle the calls that come in. While there are a
Okay.
lot of industries that are moving to a more online presence, you still have to have folks on the back end to work that help center when you type into on the internet onto a
Yeah.
website. Someone has to
Yeah.
answer those calls. Someone has to field those spaces. So,
Yes.
call centers are still growing, but they are growing in the financial sector.
Got it. Wow. So it sounds like there is great opportunity out here,
Yes.
right? It sounds like NC Works Charlotte is here to make the connection. If
Yes.
in fact someone is looking to either change careers, they've been displaced from a career for whatever reason, that NC Works is here and has an answer and a solution.
We do. We're
All
pretty
right. Now,
excited.
but let me ask though, what if I have no idea what I want my career to be? Like, how can NC Works help me?
So we have a program called the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. We refer to it as
Okay.
WIOA. And this program is actually federal. So,
Okay.
your cousin's mother's sister's brother can access it in California and in New York, everywhere. So you
Okay.
can even Google, WIOA. We are an American Job Center. And
Yeah.
that means that you can access these programs in every county. So while all of our services are free, we do have certain programs like WIOA that you do have to be deemed eligible for.
Okay.
So we have an orientation, and we pair you with a career advisor. So for the individual that says, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, I just don't know. I know
Yeah.
what I'm doing isn't it. Well,
Yeah.
if you're deemed eligible for that program, we pair you with that career advisor and they do assessments. And really, one assessment is 2 minutes long, and it gives us so much information about what could be a good fit. And so you
Oh,
start
wonderful.
exploring that and having
Okay.
that partner to really have that conversation with, and
Uh-huh.
it's someone who's not judging you. It's
Yeah.
not your sister who's saying, do you really want to do that? I don't think you should do that. Or your parents saying, how much money is that going to bring in?
Right.
You don't have that. It's really, okay, does your personality match up? If I were to say, I want to go and I want to be a CDL driver because I hear they make 80,000 a year, well, the conversation has to be, okay, do you like to drive? And well, I don't.
First and foremost,
First and
do
foremost.
you like to
So,
drive?
right. So
Right.
just having someone that you can have that conversation with, and that person, you're partnered with them through the program. So you have a guide through this federal system, which that to me is one of my favorite pieces. So you don't have to do
Okay.
it alone. So
Okay.
they may, working together, they may find that you need to go to school, or that you want to go to school, or you want some additional training. Then they work with you with a scholarship application, because we can pay for training, Sharon.
Oh, we got
Yeah.
dollars for training. Listen,
yes.
you probably should have led with that one.
Oh, okay. That's true. That's true. You see, I told you I get excited.
Probably should have led with that, but that's good.
But yes, we can pay for that. So you may want to go, like, let's take the CDL driver, since that's the example we've been using.
Sure.
That training can be, and most of our trainings can be anywhere from like 4 to 6 weeks, tends to be the average. But we pay for tuition, whatever books or tools that the instructor has deemed required. So for someone who wants to be a certified medical assistant, we even pay for their scrubs.
Wow.
We do. And that's where we can also, we have supportive services that's where we can help with transportation as well. So if they are in training, we can do a gas card back so they can get back and forth to school. So there we have bus passes even. There's mileage that can be accounted for. So there's a lot of different ways that we can help. They just need to be able to talk to their career advisor and let them know, oh, I may need this, I may need that.
Well, that sounds amazing and wonderful. It sounds like there's some great resources that particularly our residents can use. So let's put up on the screen, if we can, some of the ways that people can get in contact with you. So what are your social media handles? It looks like we got up there, Facebook, NC Works Charlotte, and on Twitter, NC Works _CLT, on Instagram, NC Works Charlotte, and on LinkedIn, NC Works Charlotte. So that's where people can get in touch with you. Is there a phone number to contact?
We would love that, because we're just reestablished new social media. So come and like us and be friends with us. We're trying to grow who we are.
Okay.
And there is a phone number, but I haven't learned it yet.
Okay, but you have a website, right?
Yes.
And what's the website?
The best one, because we don't have one that's directly linked to us, but doing ncworks.gov.
Okay.
And that's going to take you to the main page. So like their first steps, creating a profile. That is the easiest way for us to help you kind of right away. So that's going to be the first thing we ask. Oh, do you have a current profile? If you have an old one, if you ever filed for unemployment, then you have one. So getting it updated, because if we can get it updated, we can get you to an orientation. Like that makes that process move so much faster.
Okay. Well, listen, Lawana, it has been a pleasure talking to you. I think you've given us a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge that hopefully, we have a question. Do I have a question up here? Yes, I'm sorry. Regina Brand asked, NC Works helped me get a medical non-clinical position at a hospital. Free classes prepare me for greatness, for a great career.
Fantastic. Yes.
That is awesome.
I love that. I love that.
That is great. Listen, you all follow in Regina Brand's footsteps and get with Lawana, Denisha, and the team. I think this is a great opportunity. And we're everyone's in a transition time in life, in this country, in this pandemic, in our work environments. And let's take advantage of those things that are being brought to us. And Lawana, thank you so much. What's that?
I have one other thing to share, that we have a job fair coming up at the end of the month. So there are going to be some workshops that you can attend, and this job fair is hybrid. So it is going to be both in person and online, and it happens from 10 to 1, 9 to 1 p.m. for veterans, 10 to 1 for general public, and it is March 24th.
Okay.
So I'm going to social media.
So we put all the social media back up there. You can learn more about the job fair that's coming up on March 24th by going to any one of the social media accounts, correct?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Sharon.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it so much. Take care, okay?
Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.